Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 22, and it's time for another Season 9 2009 game mode, but this time with Toni Elias in the Saxon ring for the German GP. So our objectives are rather simple as we get a terrific start. Someone has just gone down to the left hand side of the screen. I didn't quite see who it was. Might have been one of the J.I. Scott Hondas. I didn't see exactly who it was, but what a magnificent start for Toni Elias already in this particular Grand Prix, up into 5th position already, just 4 corners in. But the objectives of today's video is going to be finish in 8th place or better, of course, reach 10th place before the first lap of the challenge, and I think, well, we're already in a brilliant position already, so as far as I'm concerned, let's go for the podium. Let's go for the podium, let's go for the victory, if that's even possible. As you can see on your screen right now, Hayden leads the way from Rossi, Lorenzo and Casey Stoner ahead, but there is Toni Elias in 5th place. He's got a massive kick up the wazoo there from Colin Edwards. That was a really aggressive move from the Texas Tornado, going into the waterfall section with an absolute aggression like I've never seen before. That was a very ruthless move from Colin Edwards, but to the left hand side, Colin might have the inside line for the Saxon curve. Didn't seem so, but now into the Queckenberg for the first time of asking. We are beginning to close in on Stoner ahead of us. Just 0.6 of a second is the Ducati to the San Carlo Grassini Honda rider. We're now breaking into the first corner. This is where we're going to get a lot of our time, and there you go, right on cue, up on the inside of Casey Stoner. But running it deep will probably not allow us to keep the position. Stoner is still holding on to that 4th place that we coveted just a moment ago. We're now to the right hand side. What a wonderful move, quite an aggressive move with the inside of Stoner going into the Amiga corner, but Stoner still not yielding rather, he is still holding on board the Ducati Desmond Sedici GP9 as we now go to the left hand side for turn 6, left again to turn 7, bringing the bike in nice and tight to the apex. If you watched my helmet cam gameplay, you'll know I mentioned the trail braking going into that left hander just to try and ease the motorcycle into the corner, and that's exactly what I did on that particular moment as well. But now to the left hand side for 9, and now into 10, and then of course we'll go into the waterfall section, turn 11 onwards, for the first time in the right hand side of the tyre in quite a long time. But now here into the Saxon curve, really easy to make a move upon the AI. You can really beat them by downshifting very quickly and braking a hell of a lot with the rear brake, and of course being in control on the front brake. That's exactly how I really close in on the AI for the 12th corner of the Saxon ring. Across the line, fastest man on track, Toni Elias with a 1:19.930 as we outbrake Casey Stoner into turn 1, and look at that, 2 for 1 up on the inside of the Fiat Yamaha, now trailing behind another Fiat Yamaha, but in the form of Valentino Rossi. As we go to the left hand side, Elias holds the Honda up on the inside of the Fiat Yamaha, now to the right hand side, up against the YZR M1 sandwiches here right now, guys. 2 Yamahas either side of Toni Elias. Jorge Lorenzo cuts his nose off, and then Casey Stoner goes even more aggressive to the left hand side there as we go into turn 6. A bit of contact made there. Stoner gets pushed wide. This is really beginning to kick off, and now let me tell you guys, we don't need to be doing this right now. We can just quite happily finish here and not really do anything else, but yeah, that's not what we do things on DrAce's channel. And of course, if you're enjoying the video so far, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing as well for a lot more DrAce content. But we'll now go into the waterfall section for the 3rd time of asking, keeping it nice and tight to the apex for turn 11. Be careful of a strange wheelie that can sometimes occur there. Happened to me once or twice with Rossi, but this time looks like we're free. And look at the difference there between MotoGP 21 and 22. If a rider cut across you like that in MotoGP 21, you'd be straight down on the floor, so good to see that didn't happen in 22. But bringing on the power, just wheeling ever so slightly as you see riders getting lap times invalidated over the weekend for going on the green on the exit of that apex, but this time we're quite clean as we now dive back up the inside of Jorge Lorenzo. There's nothing Pafuera himself could do about that one. May try and go around the outside for turn 3, but that would be a very bold move, and there is Lorenzo right on cue, trying to manipulate his way up on the inside of Toni Elias, and there he goes diving up on the inside of turn 3. Lorenzo holding on to the position extremely well, and I've got to say, this is one of the best races I've had in MotoGP 22. The AI are actually giving a good old fight here as Lorenzo gets put onto the dirt. Out of the way, Jorge Lorenzo. Toni Elias, the Spaniard, coming on through. Never mind about the compatriocy, but Toni Elias up into turn 8 is in the podium positions for the very first time with 3 laps remaining, with Casey Stoner now trying to Oh, he is beautifully done up at the inside for the left-hander of turn 10. And now Tony Elias will respond going into turn 12. Here it comes any moment now, outbreaking the Aussie into the left-hander. Now we do retake the position, but Stoner is still there, and he is not yielding. Not at all. GP9s around this circuit wasn't the best combinations, but I tell you what, Hayden and Stoner doing a terrific job in this virtual Grand Prix right now. But across the line, a 123, struggling to keep the front end of the San Carlo Grassini Honda down, but we do manage to go firm on the brakes into turn 1 and close the gap onto Valentino and Hayden ahead of us. Of course, the 2006 world champion Nicky Hayden only won in 2 tracks at Laguna Seca and the fantastic Assen, so can he make it 3 tracks to his name here today, here in the Sachsenring? We'll find out very, very soon. But to the left-hand side now, a penultimate lap. Of course, not the penultimate lap of the whole race, but for us, it is a penultimate lap because we're going to be doing 6 laps here in Sachsenring. And I tell you what, this is our fastest lap yet. Only 5 laps in, it's taken us to probably get even better than a 119. We're certainly going to find out very, very soon, as the gap to Rossi is now dipped between 2/10 and 3/10. It's certainly hovering around that particular gap. So we'll go to the left-hand side once more for 10. To the right-hand side, the 1 of 3 right-handers here in Sachsenring. Very, very minimal amount of right-hand corners here in the German GP as we go firm on the brakes to the left-hander. Really closing in now. Whoa, maybe we can take a win. I'm going to be more than happy with a podium in this particular challenge, but if we can get a win, that's even more brownie points for the aces. So let's see what happens. We're going into the Queckenberg. We're just a bit too eager upon the acceleration. They're losing the 2 or 3/10 of a second advantage we gained against Valentino, as we'll go very firm on the brakes, looking a little bit out of shape here, up on the inside of Rossi, but trying to, oh my goodness, trying to not hit the back of Nicky Hayden. Does send Elias onto the gravel, but a quick peek behind looks to be that we're safe. Unfortunately, oh, getting out of shape once again. The podium was there, we had it, podium has gone. Big mistake for Tony Elias right now, and big mistake in turn 1. It could have been so much worse, but we did everything in our power to stop the bike, but also not continuing to brake and slam on the rear, because when you get to the grass, you're just going to throw the bike over. In this case, of course, being gravel, even worse. But unfortunately, we will not be getting on the podium. And I've got to say, what a great race so far. I've really, really enjoyed this one. And if we hadn't made that dastardly mistake just a moment ago, we would definitely be looking at a possible victory in this one. At the guaranteed podium, but not quite a guaranteed victory. You never know what sort of fight Hayden and Rossi are going to put up to in the end of this Grand Prix. But of course, we have got another part to this challenge. Of course, the unsung hero, Tony Elias, has one more part in this one, so we'll get across the line into the Queckenberg in just a moment's time, complete this particular challenge, and then we'll move on to the next one. So Hayden wins for this very sprint race, this very short race here. Rossi in second, Stoner in third, and Lorenzo in fourth, with Tony Elias finishing in 5th place. So back here in the Sachsenring, as mentioned, still using Tony Elias, but this time we need to go toe-to-toe with Marco Melandri on board that Kawasaki. Of course, the black Kawasaki with a very iconic look with the number 33 ahead of us, but we do have 2 objectives to do within 2 laps. Duel with Marco Melandri and finish in the 6th position, and distance Marco by at least half a second. Now, it's not something I'm too concerned about, but the tyres have dropped significantly from the last moment we had Tony Elias in our hands. So let's see what we can produce now as we go into the, quite possibly the fastest sector for me. Really quick into the second and third split rather. So we go into turn 7, we bring on the power. 4/10 of a second separates Melandri and Elias. So for now, as we go into turn 8, we are closing in somewhat. It's not dramatic, but we are beginning to close in quite nicely. So to the left hand side once again, turn 10, cutting the corner ever so slightly there. I'm surprised there was no track limit warning given this time around, but turn 11 really navigated well as we'll go firm on the brakes for the waterfall section now into the Saxon curve. Is it going to be contact? A little bit of a nudge there from Elias, and another nudge for good measure. If you're going to make one nudge, you might as well make the second. Rubbing is racing, and racing is certainly rubbing. So to the left hand side for the Queckenberg, the objective is complete. Rather, it's oscillating. It can't make its mind up if we've got the 5/10 or not, but it's down to this lap. This is the final lap of today's Grand Prix and today's video, so I do hope we can hold Marco Melandri at bay, and 1.2 seconds that gap was a moment ago. Did we really just gain half a second in that first corner alone? I know we are pretty good on the brakes. We've We've done the guides, and of course if you're looking for more help with braking, check out that guide. We are solid on the brakes. Last of the late breakers. Didn't think we were going to be that strong against the AI though, and let me remind you, the AI is 120% AI difficulty. But to the left for turn 7 for the final time asking, getting a bit too tight to the apex there. Tony Elias on board the San Carlo Honda Grassini bike, getting a bit too menacing as we went to the left-hand side. But now another left, followed by, yes, you guessed it, another left into turn 10 and then to the right-hand side. We do have a second gap to Marco Melandri, so I do believe this one is done and dusted. Rossi in the lead, Lorenzo second, and Casey's on in third place with Pedrosa, DeAngelis and Tony Elias in 6th position. Marco Melandri and Hayden trail 7th and 8th, but that is going to do it, guys. To the left-hand side for the final time of today's Grand Prix, the Queckenberg has beckoned Tony Elias for a 6th position. So guys and gals, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.